Wow. About a week ago, I posted a video asking people what they thought about an idea I had. The idea was to figure out how to collaborate on creating a YouTube episode, a commercial, or something else. It doesn't matter what gear you have, what your level of skill is, or even what you're expert in. Everyone gets to make something and everyone gets to learn something by creating their video in collaboration with everyone else who's making theirs. One of the requirements was no matter what we do, you're not gonna bail and see it through. I thought it was a neat idea, but to be honest, I figured about 5 people would throw in. Probably half of those would bail when the going got tough, and it would just fizzle out. Well, holy shit. I got almost 1,000 emails and comments from people around the world asking to participate or how they could help. And these comments and emails are still pouring in. There is no way I can cover all these, but I did want to mention a few before I get into how this is going to go. One of my first questions was what we would do. A YouTube episode, a pretend commercial, or something else. By far, the YouTube episode or commercial was the favorite, but one idea came up that I'll share with you later that I'm thrilled about. I think you will be too. Next was, how do we manage this thing, especially if I got 15 or 20 people? Well, now it seems it's hundreds. Yikes. There are many great ideas on how to do this, but by far, people like the idea of using Facebook. Also, more on this later. A few people mentioned assigning people to roles like director, DP, editor, FX, artist, sound, etc. I thought about this and then I realized I didn't want to do this. Why? Because generally what will happen is each person will choose what they're good at. There's nothing wrong with that at all, but the whole purpose, and maybe I didn't state this clearly enough, is to get everyone doing everything out of their comfort zone and learning something new. This isn't a contest to see who does the best thing. This is a collaborative effort where everyone throws in, gets over their fears, gets out of their comfort zones, and learns a butt ton of skills doing it. If you're an exceptional FX artist, well, great, but wouldn't you like to become a more exceptional writer too? I would. Okay, many bright people mentioned having some process in place, and that's absolutely correct. For example, a video, film, or commercial, if it's any good, never gets made without some kind of process in place that everyone working on it can understand and actually use. So we will put a process in place. For me, that's pretty easy, because I do that all the time. Next, let me go through a couple of interesting comments. And sorry I couldn't go through them all, as this video would be about an hour long. Calder Hughes mentioned collaborating on a video that shows people showing the power of doing it properly. Like a commercial, an issue, a cause, or even something about aspiring musicians or artists. Note that ideas, we'll come back to it. Sean Sang-Wong Park made an interesting comment. He says, I advocate dictatorship in filmmaking. Collaboration is important, but there cannot be 2 directors and 3 DPs. I think the name of the game here is get the project done with the given time duration and budget. Then he gives a quote from Leonardo da Vinci, art is never finished, only abandoned. I agree, there has to be a leader or a dictator who has the final say, and hopefully he isn't a dictator. I'm assuming that's my role unless someone else wants to take that role and run with it to the end. Anyone? Brian Weath mentioned assigning roles or having a group responsible for each section like intro, bumper, part 1, etc. That also gives me an idea that we'll get back to later. DIY Camera Guy suggested a collaboration video of filmmaking tips where each participant makes 3 or 4 short tips on filmmaking, each tip about 10 to 20 seconds. Each person could send it to me or someone willing to edit the video. I like this, and we'll get back to that one shortly. Luis Oliveira Kostama from Portugal says a commercial spot about bringing up awareness on an issue like bullying children could be good. Also an excellent idea that we will get back to, but I want to stay away from anything that has to do with race, color, religion, political views, sex, and so on. We live in a world where people have different views on different things, and that's okay by me. Do I think anyone who intentionally tries to damage children are a bunch of cowards that should be shot up in outer space, never to be seen again? Yes. But this project is about learning filmmaking and getting better at it, not pushing an agenda. Robert Schaefer, who also happens to have been around the block a few times, wrote me a tome of info, all very valid. His main points were communication and how does everyone access across multiple zones and languages. What tool do we use that we can all use, not proprietary, and not for any one operating system or language? A record of these communications so everyone can track what is happening and why. A structure so that everyone can be heard and ideas are discussed freely in a positive atmosphere, and much, much more. I checked into Google Hangouts, but they were unreliable and I think only 10 people can be on at the same time. Lastly, Petroglyph Pictures added getting committed participants, a poll for these ideas for a limited period, voting on the ideas by all committed, narrowing it down to one, then mapping out a plan. He also adds, for something this big, you need a defined process before creative starts. And he's right. Okay, here's where we have ended up. I am not a Facebook expert or fanboy, but it seems to be the most popular choice, and it made a lot of sense to me. So I created a Facebook page called the Basic Filmmaker Collaboration Project, of which I am currently the only member. I tried creating a group page thing and failed, as I needed to invite other members that I am already attached to, and it wouldn't let me proceed and hit the button without that. Probably did something wrong here, and I figure someone can tell me how to do that. Anyway, I suggest you go there and like it, as that seems to be the way you join a Facebook page. Now, I didn't want to create a closed group as I want people to be able to see what is happening and what is going on. Obviously, if we get some nerd cat in there trying to troll everyone on buying their diet pills or something, I'll just block them. Second, since I am a Facebook noob, I posted a couple of things on there, which are the last video and this one on the collaboration, and basically a poll. I tried some polling software, but they wanted to charge me for it, or I could only get 40 responses. Whatever. So I basically posted 3 separate ideas, which are choices of what we will all make collaboratively. 1, I like the idea of a YouTube video where we post short filmmaking tips from everyone, stitch them all together and post it. That gives everyone a chance to have their voice heard and their video seen, and everybody gets to do it, including having to deal with other people's footage, which is a learning experience in itself. Next choice, which I like better, is everyone does a single YouTube episode on one thing, like a single filmmaking tip or a review or a filmmaking principle or something like that. I like this better as everyone involved has to do the thing from start to finish, from idea to script to shooting to editing, posting, and we all get to decide on what gets created before the shooting starts. There's a lot of learning here too, and much like being a pro, a lot of time you're handed a script and you just have to go get it done. Last idea, but I haven't really figured out how this will work, is a public service announcement or PSA. First reason I really love this is although I've done a lot of commercials, I've never done a PSA, and that interests the hell out of me as it's out of my comfort zone. The second is I'd like to keep this PSA about filmmakers. In other words, let's all of us as filmmakers make a statement about what we know or love, filmmaking or filmmakers. The way you vote on these is you just click on the little like thing next to the post. If you want to leave a comment, go ahead. Now you may think I'm floundering here, but I'm not. This is Filmmaking 101. The first thing you have to come up with is an idea, and then get everyone at our production company, that's all of us, to agree on what we're going to make and invest our time in. Next, we'll develop a pitch. It will be a short synopsis of what we're going to do, and we pitch it to the executive producer running it or fronting the money, that's me, who will greenlight the idea. At that point, the work on fleshing out the script and how it will go is next. There's a lot of prior steps to get us to the point of actually filming, but as I said, we'll all learn a lot in the process. One other thing, if you know someone who might want to participate, well then let them know. Share it, retweet it, email it, or whatever. I think it'd be a shame if someone drops into the middle of this wishing they had known about it. This whole project is designed so everyone can learn what it's like to create something from start to finish, and frankly, test your mettle as a filmmaker. And the first test of a filmmaker is that when he or she says they're going to take on a project, they don't bail, ever, and stick with it to the end, no matter what. So, still with me? Then click on the Facebook link in the description below, like the page, vote for the content, and let's get started. I hope that helps, and thanks for watching. Louis Vero Quesarama. Nope. Luis Alvoeiro Quaresama from Portugal. Wow, it's not even Luis. Luis Alvoeiro Quaresma from Portugal. Luis Alvoeiro Quaresma from Portugal. You know what I should do is I should just say it like I know it, like I'm saying it correctly, even though I'm probably not. Luis Alvoeiro Quaresma from Portugal plays a... Okay, I'm just gonna say it and just put it in the episode, and it's probably wrong. And Luis or Louis or whatever your name is, I apologize. I'm just a silly person from the United States, and I can't say things that don't have more, they have more than 4 letters. We don't know what to say. Sorry, dude.